Phonemic segmentation fluency is an indicator of the basic early literacy skill phonemic awareness, the ability to hear, identify, and manipulate individual sounds called phonemes in spoken words. PSF provides one score, the sum of sound segments produced. Students receive 1 point for each different correct part of the word. M-Class automatically calculates the score based on how the assessor records student responses. These scoring rules address the common situations you are likely to encounter while administering this measure. Use the timestamp shown here to skip ahead to a scoring rule you are eager to learn about, or to review a rule in the future. Correct responses. Underline the sound segments in the word the student produces correctly. Here's how to record correct sounds in isolation. If the word is top and the student says t, ah, p, tap or draw a line underneath each correct phoneme. Here's how to record correct blended sounds. If a student segments the word top as t, op, draw a single line under t and the continuous line from left to right beneath the blended sounds ah and p. The student is given credit for each correct sound segment, even if they have not segmented to the phoneme level. Incorrect responses. For incorrect sound segments, underline the phonemes and then tap to mark incorrect. Here's how to record incorrect sounds in isolation. Let's take the word top again. If the student says t, ah, p, draw a line under each letter and tap the ah. The red box indicates an incorrect sound. Underlining the incorrect phoneme is important because it indicates the student attempted to say it. Here's how to record incorrect blended sounds. If a student blends some sounds together, draw a continuous line beneath the blended sounds and tap only the phonemes the student segmented incorrectly. For example, if the word is top and the student says t, app, draw a line under the t and the continuous line under ah, p, and tap the ah. The red box indicates an incorrect sound. If a student repeats the word instead of segmenting it, draw a continuous line under the word. M-Class awards 0 points because the student did not produce any correct segments. Alternatively, you can tap the whole word button at the bottom of the screen. Self-corrections. If a student makes an error but corrects it within 3 seconds, tap the sound segment again to turn it green. For example, if the word is top and the student says t, ah, ah, p, draw a single line under all 3 phonemes and tap the ah twice to record a self-correction. Hesitations. If a student hesitates for 3 seconds, make no marks and give the next word. For example, if the word is top and the student says t and hesitates for 3 seconds, underline the first sound, leave the remaining phonemes in the word blank, and give the next word. M-Class awards credit for correctly segmenting 1 out of the 3 sounds. Omissions. Omissions during PSF are indicated in the same way as hesitations. That is, do not underline or tap an omitted sound. If a student omits a sound, leave it blank. For example, if the assessor gives the word top and the student responds t, p, leave the ah blank. Underline only the 2 phonemes produced. M-Class awards credit for correctly segmenting 2 out of the 3 sounds. Discontinue rules. If a student has not given any sound segments correctly in the first 5 words, discontinue PSF. M-Class assigns the student a score of 0. At kindergarten BOY, you have the option to discontinue the benchmark assessment completely. Spelling. If a student spells the word, no credit is given. For example, if the word is top and the student says T-O-P, underline and tap each phoneme to mark it incorrect. Overlapping segmentation. Underline each sound segment the student produces. The student receives credit for each different correct sound segment in the word, even when a sound is repeated. For example, if the assessor gives the word top and the student responds ta, ah, op, underline the ta, ah, and op, and class awards credit for correctly producing 3 different sound segments, even though the student has not segmented to the phoneme level. The maximum number of possible points is equal to the number of phonemes in the word. Sound elongation. If a student elongates individual sounds and runs them together, use professional judgment to determine if a student is aware of each sound individually. For example, if the word is sun and the student says sun, give credit for 3 different correct sound segments. Use the student's responses as well as prior knowledge of the student's instruction to inform your decision. When in doubt, do not give credit. If a student adds a schwa, sound to consonants, do not score it incorrect. Some phonemes like b and y cannot be pronounced correctly in isolation without a vowel, and some early learning of sounds includes the schwa. For example, if the word is top and the student says t, ah, p, underline each sound segment and do not mark them incorrect. Additions. Added sounds are treated differently depending on where they are added. Added sounds are not marked incorrect if they are separated from other sounds in the word. For example, if a student reads top as s, t, ah, p, the S is ignored because the sounds were said in isolation. M-class awards all 3 points. Added sounds are marked incorrect when they are combined with a phoneme. For example, if the word is top and the student says st, ah, p, draw a single line under the 3 phonemes and tap the t to mark it incorrect. A student receives credit for each different correct sound segment because the s sound was combined with the t. That segment is no longer correct. M-class awards only 2 out of 3 points.